Hey there guys, today I'm here to review Ratchet & Clank for the PS4. Now, if you don't know, Ratchet & Clank has been a game series that's been going on since the PlayStation 2 era. 2 consoles ago. God, that's a lame joke. And this is supposed to be a reboot of the first one from way back when the game was getting started in 2002. Also meant to time with the movie that came out this year. And if you want to know further thoughts of what I thought of the movie, check out the private screening review that I did with Anthony. Although, if you want a quick sum up, it's not very good. So basically, like to follow terms with the movie, it's basically Ratchet and Clank are fighting on each other. Ratchet is a creature known as a Lombax that dreams of becoming a galactic ranger and exploring the galaxy and all that stuff. Basically, Luke Skywalker, general hero journey stuff. I think that you understand what it is. And Clank is a defective warbot under the guise of the main villain of the game, Chairman Drek. And once Clank realizes what his purpose is, he escapes and ends up on Veldin, which is Ratchet's planet, and Clank is trying to find the Galactic Rangers in order to help him save the world from Drek. So Ratchet asks him to help, and off they go to find the Galactic Rangers. The story is not very good compared to the first one, which, might I add, is not a very interesting story to start off with, but at least something happens in the middle of the first one that causes the two to split off on their decisions of saving the world. And while that is not horribly interesting, I just think of it as in terms of a movie where it's that oh, I don't like you, well, I don't like you either. And the two main characters are just I don't like you. That's not really interesting, but at least with that, they were able to develop character. They were able to form a stronger bond from eventually being I'm sorry, man, I know I was dumb and all that stuff. Let's go fight the bad guy. But here, we don't even have that. Literally, a couple planets in, these guys are just good luck, pal, and it's be safe, buddy, and stuff. And it's just not convincing. There's no character development for these guys at all. The villains are not much better, though, with Chairman Drek and Dr. Nefarious, before, these are both villains that have been in their own games in the Ratchet and Clank universe. Drek was the first one, Nefarious was the third. And there was so much more time focused on them for them to have funny interactions and stuff like that. And players enjoy them. But here, you barely see them, with them just being in a small handful of cutscenes.
But, of course, sacrifices must be made. Thank you for your cooperation.
Cut!
And if you don't like it, you can take your whiny, sniveling, snot-nosed populations, form a line behind me, and kiss my... We're still on? Well, turn it off, you idiot!
Dr. Nefarious especially, I feel so sorry for here, because he is, in my opinion, one of the funniest video game villains ever. And he's left on the sidelines for Drek, who in this is not really interesting. Dr. Nefarious is someone who should always be at the center stage with his maniacal laugh and his hilarious voice and his funny little quirks.
There is one small matter.
I don't have the capacity for love, Janice. I was cursed by a tribe of gypsy ninjas when I was a kid.
I know, Lance. I was in that tribe of gypsy ninjas.
The Galactic Rangers? Barely any personality either. One of them is the gun-toting, owning guy. Basically, I should have blown up something by now. He's Anthony. He's basically Anthony. The other one is just woman. That's it. That's her whole personality. Literally, she was helping me in a mission halfway through the game, and she was just like shouting at me, "Come on, get to this waypoint or whatever." And I was like, "Who's shouting at me?" And I come up to her and I face her. I'm just like, "Who are you?" I completely forgot who it was. That's how little of an impression these guys leave on me, is that I completely forgot that they existed. But okay, that's where my negativity ends about the game, because for one thing, the voice work is great. I mean, James Arnold Taylor as Ratchet, David Kaye as Clank, and Jim Ward as Captain Quark. I didn't mention Captain Quark, but Captain Quark, they are all great. They've all been doing these roles for over 10 years, so it makes sense for them to be good in these roles. The rest of the people are fine. They're just okay. They do the job well. And what makes the game great in terms of story, that makes it unique from the movie, is that it comes from the perspective of Captain Quark after he does a bad thing and he's arrested. And so the whole thing is in flashback with him narrating. And I think it's really clever to just get that whole idea of a game based off a movie, based off the game. So Captain Quark is narrating the whole thing, and it's fun. Captain Quark is a fun character, and it's great to see him narrating. As for looks of the game, it's gorgeous. It's just beautiful, man. Not only in terms of the old one, but just in general, nowadays, this just looks great by today's standards. I get this great feeling of nostalgia that at these levels have been repainted and built up from scratch that I used to play, and now they just are completely stunning. This game also shows how far games have come in terms of technology, because there are actually cutscenes from the movie that are used here. And it's also cool to see that, because you get to be in games where it's that the transition from a cutscene from the movie back to the game is usually really jarring, and you can easily tell, oh yeah, that's definitely two different things. But here, it definitely looks like a Pixar movie, or just it looks like that I'm playing the movie. Although I think I'm just going to use the Pixar example, because the movie is not something I want to play, because it's not really all that good in terms of story. The only negative about the looks and the aesthetics of this game is that the interactions between the characters are really weak, because like the first game is that the characters were at least doing stuff. They were at least like walking and just like making just like expressions and stuff like that. It was at least engaging to look at. But here, it's really, really not interesting, because at least in the game is that it's between it's Ratchet or Clank in a close-up, and then the other guy in a close-up, and then back to them in another close-up. It's so dull, and they barely move their mouths. It's so dull. Just hurry up. I want to get the item. I want to know what I have to do. Which is really, really weird, because the in-game animation is great. Just like shooting guys and just like seeing them just like fall off of buildings, or just like getting shot or something. It's well animated. It's very fluid, which makes perfect sense considering that there is actually a weapon in the game where if you throw it, all enemies are forced to dance. The Garufotron. It's been in there for like 4 games now, and the guys who made the game, Insomniac Games, is clearly like, we definitely got something great on here. Let's put this in every single one of our games. And that has been the greatest decision this entire franchise has ever had. As for the gameplay, I mean, it's great. I mean, like I said, Insomniac Games has been working on this series for a very long time. They've been doing it since 2002. So they've slowly, bit by bit, learned how the game works, what they want to do it. They're under a whole like philosophy of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the controls are perfect. I mean, there's nothing left to say about it. They're just great. Every time you get hit, it's your fault for not dodging the thing that comes in your way. Although there are one or two cheap ones where someone uses a pistol that works like a sniper, which is weird. As for the weapons, they're over the top, they're fun, and they're satisfying to use. They're also really addicting because ever since the second game, you can use your weapons to gain experience points killing bad guys in order for them to become bigger and stronger. And it makes the game just so addicting and fun to just like do that. And along with getting raritanium to further upgrade your weapons to do more or satisfying things, it just really works. Like, to give you an example, your basic pistol in the game, it starts out, it just fires one shot. But then once it's fully upgraded to level 5, it fires 3 bullets at once. And then if you use the raritanium to build it up, it can fire 5 horizontal shots at once. It's kind of insane. So that's basically it about Ratchet and Clank. I mean, if I were to compare it to the first one, I think I would give it basically the same grade because the old one, the story's okay, the looks are whatever, and the gameplay's fine. But here, looks are great, gameplay's great, story's not. Story's just awful and terrible. So it just kind of interestingly balances out. But as just a reboot and as something that as a reboot and as a jumping off point, it's great. I would recommend this game to anyone, especially since it's only $40, which is a really great deal. My final rating for this game is an 8 out of 10 and a green for age and sensory. I'll see you guys later.